I'm up on the rooftop, kind of like Peter in the Bible when he went up on the roof and he fell into a trance. Well, I'm not falling into a trance, but I'm getting conscious. I'm tapping into higher consciousness. And I was just thinking back to November 19, 2019, when I encountered my twin flame person. And the magnetics of it was so strong in the frequency of cosmic divine love. It all makes sense now. The other day on August, I think it's the August 26th or August 27th on my Facebook page, I posted a little clip of a lady's near-death experience. Norma Edwards, I think was her name. And she described it so amazingly, how this works, how we get into these higher states of consciousness and remembering of the superconscious or the Akashic record. And she likened it to a radio. When you tune into a radio frequency, you turn your dial to tune into a higher frequency, you get different music. And it makes so much sense. When I encountered my twin flame, the love frequency was so high for 2 months continually. And that's when my Christian faith started to break down. All of a sudden, I was getting these insights, I started to question, and I was getting these insights that were no longer resonating with the Christian dogma. And I didn't know what was doing it, why it was causing that. But now, hearing that lady talk about it here on her near-death experience video, it makes perfect sense. And as we come into higher vibrations, my twin and myself, this encounter triggered us into high vibrations of love. And that started breaking down my lower frequency programming, because I now was sensing and feeling and knowing these higher things, and it's never stopped. And although my twin and myself were not in communication right now, the heart chakra was open, and that love is always there, so I can generate my own love frequency and keep myself in the high vibration and keep myself in higher consciousness and continue but tapping into the higher superconscious or the Akashic record of what is up in the higher dimensions, what can be known from there. So I just had to record it. It just makes sense now. Why the raising of vibration does make such a difference. Now, I don't know how to raise the vibrations. This just kind of happened upon us as twin flames. But if you have other means of raising your vibrations, that is what opens up the higher dimensions to higher knowing. So, just thought I'd share that. It just still amazes me. One other thing I remember during that time, when my twin and me were in communication, we listened to a lot of music. Music from Phil Ray Gibbons in particular. And that music does raise the vibration. That music sends us flying into the higher dimensions at all times. This is what I'm talking about. I'm understanding the correlation to the sound and the vibrations to higher consciousness. It makes sense that we need to be careful what kind of music we listen to. When you're listening to heavy metal, rock, or country music, it carries the frequencies of angry frequency, or sad frequency, depressing frequencies, and you'll never reach higher frequencies of consciousness when you listen to that music. It keeps you in the lower density of angry and fighting and just real bad, just real unhappy energy. So be aware of what kind of music you take in, because it changes your personal frequency field and you will not dial into the higher awareness, the higher consciousness, the divine consciousness. Yeah.